Are you lonely? It's okay. It's okay that you are lonely. It's not, I mean, loneliness isn't good, but don't feel bad that you are because chances are it's not your fault. Chances are, the overwhelming chances are it's not your fault. Sometimes we do shoot ourselves in the foot, and yes, we could say, well, I'm on my own because of something I've done, but I'm going to say most of the time it's not our fault. Why are we lonely? Why is it our fault that our friends have left the town, the city, and moved somewhere else? Is that our fault? Is that our fault that they did that? Is that our fault that we're living by ourselves? It's a lot of these choices are not our fault. These things aren't things that we wished for. They're things that happen to us. So loneliness is being talked about a lot more these days. You can find articles online about it. The UK is a minister of loneliness. But I still think that the shame around loneliness that so many of us have, I'm going to say almost all of us feel shame about our loneliness. And think about that conversation in your head. You're thinking, well, I'm feeling lonely right now. I'd like to be talking with somebody, hanging out, but I can't do that. So the automatic thought is probably, I'm a loser, I'm doing something wrong, nobody likes me, and you have all these negative thoughts. It goes straight from that to that. Why? Try to circumvent that, saying it's not your fault. It's not your fault, and you'll see somebody eventually, and the faster you can do that, the better. Sometimes things are not our fault. So I'm trying to get up and try to start a conversation around the shame of loneliness. People are talking about loneliness. You can see it in the news, but I'm trying to get people to not feel so shameful around it and say, look, it's okay, and to start a conversation around it. Could you imagine what it would be like in our communities if people said, "Are you lonely these days?" Yes, I am. Well, let's try to remedy that. Like, do you have a cold? It's as simple as that, and try to remedy that. A lot of times, some people, we all have different windows of what we're comfortable talking about. Some people are fine with small talk. That's great. Perfect. Small talk is wonderful. I love small talk. There's a definite place for that. There's a real need as humans. We need to have that. Some people want more than that. And check out Kalina Silverman. She's in California, I think. She has a big talk platform, and she has questions that encourage people to talk about things more than just small talk. She has a video with millions of views where she asked strangers, even, not even people she knew, what was your biggest regret in life? Or other questions like that. People would say, I really miss, my mom got cancer and I really missed whatever. They talk about all these bigger things that a lot of us want to talk about. And that's why a lot of us do feel lonely, even in a crowd sometimes, is because we don't get a chance to talk about these more inner thoughts that we have with other people. Try to make that more, try to have conversations around that with people. Ask other people. Go out of your way to make other people open up if they want to about stuff like that. Then they'll say, well, maybe I feel like I can open up to you because you asked me that question, and you be the instigator for that instead of waiting for people to come to you if you can. I know sometimes it's hard to do that. Uh, uh, yeah, Verbal Judo, The Gentle Art of Persuasion by George Thompson. It's a book. It's what police officers use to deal with people with words, not weapons. It's helped me so much in confidence and being able to approach people, talk to people, start conversations. David Topus, the book Talk to Strangers, that's what he does. He talks to strangers and starts conversations. The book outlines how he does that. Two of my top reads for people skills and confidence. It's wonderful. So start a conversation about this. Ask people, are you lonely these days? Where I am in New Brunswick, Canada, the power line workers have how's your 10? They ask each other, how's your 10? 10% of our thoughts are in the present, and something like 50% are in the past and 40% in the future. And they get people talking about what's going on in their heads. That's the simple phrase they use. Can we start a simple phrase for, are you lonely these days? How's your loneliness? And not be shamed around it. I've been lonely for 30 years since I left high school, off and on. I mean, when I'm with people, I'm not lonely. But I've struggled with loneliness overall for 30 years. And is it my fault? I've got schizophrenia. That's a big thorn in your side right there. I worked in an office that was quiet, very quiet, solitary work. Didn't entirely enjoy that, being by myself. I did it anyway. It's why are all these reasons you're by yourself? How many millions of people work in cubicles all day? Is that a cause for loneliness? Is that your fault? Seriously, is that your fault? Let's have conversations about this. Stand up, say, no, it's okay. If you're lonely, it's okay. Millions of us are. Billions of us are. 60% of America is lonely. And that's different studies will give you different results based on the questions asked, but have a conversation about this. It's okay to be lonely. It's okay. I'm standing up and saying it. It's okay.